Again, welcome back to Dana's Cocktail Hour. This is a special edition. This is not in the order of my chronological life, but it is definitely something I feel like I need to talk about at this moment. And that is how there are no more big mamas. There are no more grandmas, as people like to say, instead of saying the whole grandmother. There are no Madeas. And I just recently found out what Madea is, and it's mother and dear put together. So there you have Madea. And I paired that with the cocktail term straight no chaser. And I chose that because somewhere, somehow, at some point, we don't have those grandmothers that like to have those difficult conversations when it comes to their grandchildren. Now, don't get me wrong, I am a grandmother. And grandparenting and parenting are different in a few ways. Of course, different because you're grandparenting your grandchild. You are not parenting your grandchild. So there are going to be some things that you're going to do different that you did with your children. Now for me, I did have a big mama. It was would have been my great grandmother, my dad's grandmother, which is what they called her big mama. So what I'm finding is they are letting, or the grandparents that I know are allowing the grandchildren to get away with or skate by, or they are looking over some of the things that they are doing and saying to their parents, which is not okay for me. And I don't quite understand or know why that is. Because I know that in my growing up, the things that some of these children are doing and saying to their parents, my grandmother would have checked me. My husband's grandmother would have checked him. So again, we have no more Serenes. We have no more Daisies. We have no more Animes. And we have no more Bernices. And those are the names of our grandmothers. It's just really puzzling and baffling and befuddles me that the grandchildren can go off the deep end and not be checked. They can shirk their responsibilities and not be checked. They can disrespect their parents and not be checked. And I don't quite understand why that is. You know, they say it takes a village. It definitely does. It takes a village. It takes a community. It takes everybody when it comes to raising, parenting, directing children so that they can be the best adults. You know, they can become adults and give back and contribute to their community as successful as what they're going to be. You know, every child is not going to be a millionaire, but at least you can be an upstanding citizen. At least you can go out here and make your parents, make your family proud. But the village is watered down. Like again, I said, the grandmothers that I see, they turn a blind eye. You lead these children, adult children, to believe that it's okay. And it's not okay. It's not okay. There's no backing. The parents, they're being misinformed. These children are being misinformed because the parent says one thing and they can go to their grandmother, grandfather, and they get a whole different kind of discussion. And it is definitely causing a major problem. And I've seen where, sad to say, you have a lot of grandparents who are raising their grandchildren. Now, if the parent is deceased, that's one thing. If the parent is in the military, that's one thing. I don't want to say if the parent is incarcerated, that's because that's, yet again, that's the choice that the parent made, and they have caused the issue of where they are unable to care for their child, but it happens. So I can kind of go with that. That's not the child's fault. That's an unfortunate event. But if the parent is able-bodied and they are capable of doing so, then in my opinion, because I have an opinion, everybody has an opinion, they should be doing so. So again, I go back to, we have no more big mamas. We have no more grandmas, Gramma. We have no more Madeas, because these grandchildren are out here running amok. You can go out here and you can make adult decisions, and you don't want or can't handle the adult decision that you made, and because you don't get the response that you want or that you're looking for, or just you think you deserve from your parent, then you go to your grandmother or your grandparent or your grandfather or whomever, however you want, whatever you want to call them, and they don't check you on it. There's no checks and balances. Checks and balances is just not for corporate America. Checks and balances is can also be for the family corporation, because we need more checks and balances. There is kind of like playing one against the other, because your parent has already told you one thing, or has given you an earful on what you need to do, or how you need to do it, or how you need to be, and then you can go to grandma, and the parent could have also told or informed grandma of what was told to their child, and it's just totally disregarded. And that is a serious problem for me. It's all well and good, you want to be a little softer and a little, passive, but that's not working. It's not working. It is, you have these adult children who are going out here and thinking that, I can do what I want to do, I can say what I want to say, and no matter what, I know who's going to always be there for me. And it's all well and good, you want to always be there, but in being there needs to be some hard conversations. You can't be cotton, tissue paper, anything soft, a Downs pillow. You can't be that way all the time, because then they continue to think that what they're doing is right when it's not. Where does it come into the picture of being supportive of the parents? When does that happen? When does what is so wrong with if they come to you and you tell them, okay, I've heard what you said. Then let me check it over with your parents and see if you've talked to them or what you have talked to them about. Because it's not going well. It's not going well at all. Because they have this false sense of entitlement. Again, these 90s babies, and on 90s on up to where we are now, they are entitled. They are the most entitled generation I have seen before in all my 48 years. They entitled. They think, I can go out here and do what I want to do with my money. Whether it's going on a trip, whether it's getting a new tattoo, whether it's buying a car, going out here getting getting into any adult-like financial obligation, and it's good. It's all good. I don't have to, handle my responsibilities, because I can go out here and do what I want to do, and then I'm gonna have this safety net. When the safety net has a big old hole in it, I have no problem with helping someone, because we all fall on. I've had my share of hard times, and I'm not saying no one has hard times, because they do. You have these unexpected situations that go on, and you don't have your umbrella, you don't have your rainy day fund, which we don't all have a rainy day fund, and certain things will come up and catch us off guard. But we need more the village needs to become a little more secure, and it is not. It is just as weak as water. It's just as weak as that drink. You go to the bar and expect, you have an expectation, and it's not what you expected, so you want to send it back. But you can't send back your family, because I don't know if you've heard it before, but we can't pick our family. But in not being able to do so, we need, as parents, we do need help. We need help. And in helping, if you're not helping, no, I'm not looking for you to think the way I think. I'm not looking for you to feel the way I feel. I'm not looking for you to see what I see. But if a parent comes to you as the grandparent, and they have shared with you some things in reference to their child, their adult child, or if their child is not an adult, because we need grandparents to help, to assist all through the years, the child years that we're trying to rear these children. it's best to talk it over with the parent. It's best to find out, well, what's going on? What is happening? Because then you go in blind, or sometimes you don't go in blind. Sometimes you know what has been said. Sometimes you know what has been talked about. You have been fully informed on what is happening, and you still choose to do something different, which again, that creates division. And then the parent will sometimes want to isolate themselves because you're not being heard. You want to feel like you can go to the grandparent and have the understanding that I know in my absence that you spoke up for me. I know in my absence that you reiterated what I've already said. I know in my absence that I don't have to worry about you talking against what I've already told the child, whether if the child is under the age of 18 or over the age of 18. So if anybody else out there knows what I'm talking about, which I'm pretty sure someone else is experiencing, something in reference to what I'm talking about currently. Again, this is off the beaten path because it's a topic that I have heard about. It's a topic that I have seen happen more times than none. But we need more big mamas. We need more grandmas. And we need more Madeas. And I get these names because if you've seen movies like Soul Food, or if you've seen movies like Tyler Perry movies, because Madea just, she's going to say what needs to be said. You don't have to like it, you don't have to love it, but it's what needs to be said. You got This Christmas. She was a strong woman. And we need our older generations to not be so afraid or to be passive or undercaring, if that's a word, because you have to care enough, you have to love enough to tell them what they need to know, what they need to hear, and they don't have to like it. Because as long as it's coming from a place of love, they don't have to like it, but it's what you need to know. It's what you need to hear. Because I keep using this same word. I'm doing you a disservice if I don't, as a grandparent, tell you what you need to hear. Because at least I can say, I told you. At least you can't say, well, no one told me, because I did. And now, if you choose to go out here and not listen, that's a whole nother thing. But at least, like I said, at least I can tell you, well, I told you, or I knew this day was coming, or I told you to get your umbrella because the rain is pouring. And like my husband likes to say all the time, life is out there. Life don't care. Life is out there, and it is doing push-ups, waiting on you to come out there to meet it. And you can either be prepared for it, or you cannot. And in not being prepared, then you will continue to get letters from creditors. You will continue to get letters from anybody that you owe money to, have not satisfied those debts. And we don't, as a parent and as a grandparent, we don't want you to go out here and find out the hard way. But that's just how sometimes that's how people are built. You know, they want to find out the hard way. So what can you do? You can only do what you can, share what you can, say what you can. And that's pretty much it. But I wanna charge this to any grandparent out there. If you are a grandparent and you are trying to assist a parent with raising their younger children, and then because once you become an adult, there's no more raising. You can only advise. If you're an advisor, you're currently advising, I ask that you do it in such a way that you're not overstepping your boundaries. Oh, excuse me. You're not overstepping your boundaries. Because it's causing a problem. And it doesn't have to be that way, Again, I thank you for being here. I thank you for listening. I thank you for hearing. I don't have a letter for this one because this was out of the norm. This was something that just popped up in my mind throughout my, experiences. I've seen certain things that warranted this topic. So I will see you next time. This is Dana's Cocktail Hour.